Good evening. Greet you in Jesus' name this evening. So tonight I'm going to be mostly in the book of Proverbs. So you can turn there if you'd like. I'm going to be doing a little bit of a comparison. Comparison between the righteous and the wicked. So Proverbs, it often compares the lifestyles of the wicked and the righteous, and it makes a strong case for living by God's pattern. The advantages of righteous living and the disadvantages of wicked living are pointed out. The kind of person we decide to be will affect every area of our lives. So we're going to be looking a little bit at the advantages and disadvantages of wicked living and of righteous living. So maybe I'll just ask, what are some advantages of righteous living?
Being conscious.
Mm-hmm.
Peace.
Assurance of eternal life.
Mm-hmm.
You'll probably have nicer friends.
What's that?
I said you'll probably have nicer friends.
Yeah. Might have real friends instead of fake ones. That's good. So, are there disadvantages? Is there disadvantages to righteous living?
Not easy.
That's right.
Has to die to self.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should say we get to die to self.
You'll probably be taken advantage of easier.
Right. Okay, now maybe we can switch that to wicked living. What are some disadvantages of wicked living?
Eternal death.
Right.
Always having to watch your back.
Mm-hmm.
Emptiness.
Are there advantages to wicked living? Somebody say no.
Pleasure for a season.
All right.
Whatever looks like an advantage is temporary at best.
That's right.
73 points to maps out.
Yeah. I think that pretty much sums up the advantages. It's temporary. If there is any, it's temporary. So maybe I'll just ask this question. You don't have to answer it. Is it worth living righteously? So I think at this point we'll look at some references. So first of all, we'll look at the outlook on life between righteous and the wicked. What's their outlook on life? So if you're there in Proverbs, if you turn to Proverbs, you don't necessarily have to turn to all these because it's quite a few references. But to start with, I'm going to look at Proverbs 10:24. And we're going to look at the outlook on life between the righteous and the wicked. Proverbs 10:24, the fear of the wicked, it shall come upon him, but the desire of the righteous shall be granted. So the righteous are hopeful, and the wicked are fearful. Proverbs 10:12, a righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. So there we have the righteous, they treat their animals well. But the wicked, they don't eat, their kindness is even cruel. Even their kindness is not even nice. And then Proverbs 28:5. Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things. So the righteous, they understand justice. So they tend to be just in their dealings. And the wicked, they don't understand justice. I don't know if it's because they don't care to, or if it's just because they're wicked, they can't really get it. So that's the comparison on their outlook on life. And then I'm going to look at their response to life. Proverbs 10:6. Blessings are upon the head of the just, but violence covereth the mouth of the wicked. So here, the righteous, they're showered with blessings, and the wicked, they're covered with violence. So, I mean, as we go down through here, you can kind of see the stark difference between the righteous and the wicked. I guess the question is it, like I asked before, is it worth living righteously? Which we can get into that a little bit more later. But, yeah, there's more here. Proverbs 16:30. He shutteth his eyes to devise froward things. Moving his lips, he bringeth evil to pass. So the wicked in that verse, they plot evil. Proverbs 21:29. A wicked man hardeneth his face, but as for the upright, he directeth his way. The righteous, they proceed with care, but the wicked, they're put up a bold front. And then Proverbs 24:15 and 16. Lay not wait, O wicked man, against the dwelling of the righteous. Spoil not his resting place. For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. The righteous, they persevere against evil, and the wicked are brought down by calamity. A just man, he just keeps getting up again. But the wicked, they end up falling into mischief. And then Proverbs 29:10. The bloodthirsty hate the upright, but the just seek his soul. The righteous people, they seek out the honest. And the wicked people, they hate the honest. So the wicked they don't like people that are honest. But the righteous, they look for people that are honest. Okay, now I'm going to look at some verses that show how they are seen by others. So the first verse for that would be Proverbs 13:15. Good understanding giveth favor, but the way of the transgressors is hard. So the righteous are respected, but the wicked they don't endure. 16:29. A violent man enticeth his neighbor, and leadeth him into the way that is not good. So there the wicked, they lead others into sin. So they take people with them. They like to have company. Proverbs 21:8. The way of man is froward and strange, but as for the pure, his work is right. So the righteous conduct is upright, and the wicked, their conduct is devious. Proverbs 24:1 and 2. Be not thou envious against evil men, neither desire to be with them, for their heart studieth destruction, their lips talk of mischief. They plot violence, the wicked plot violence, and the righteous, they don't desire the company of godless people. The righteous would rather spend time with those that are righteous, people that are godly. Proverbs 28:12. When righteous men do rejoice, there is great glory, but when the wicked rise, a man is hidden. So in that verse, others are glad when they succeed. They're talking about the righteous. But when the wicked rise to power, they hide. People hide. It's not a good thing when a wicked man is in power. And then 29:7. The righteous consider the cause of the poor, but the wicked regardeth not to know it. So there, the righteous, they care about the poor, but the wicked, they aren't concerned at all about the poor. And 29:27, an unjust man is an abomination to the just. He that is upright in the way is an abomination to the wicked. In that verse, the righteous despise the wicked, and the wicked despise the godly. All right, let's look at the quality of life now a little bit. Some verses here talk about the quality of life. 10:25, Proverbs 10:25. As the whirlwind passes, so is the wicked no more, but the righteous is an everlasting foundation. So there we have the righteous standing firm, but the wicked, they're swept away. They don't last. We talked about earlier how that the pleasures of the wicked is temporary. And another verse under that, under quality of life, would be Proverbs 11:6. The righteous of the upright shall deliver them. The righteousness of the upright shall deliver them, but transgressors shall be taken in their own naughtiness. So there, the righteous are rescued by godliness. And then the wicked, they're trapped by evil desires. So the wicked, when we sin and when we do wickedly, it's a vice. I mean, it's bondage. And so it traps us. Another reference under quality of life would be Proverbs 12:21. There shall no evil happen to the just, but the wicked shall be filled with mischief. No real harm befalls the righteous. Constant trouble befalls the wicked. Just because we're righteous don't mean nothing bad happens to us. But if we die, we still gain as a righteous if we're serving Christ. But the wicked, yeah, they end up falling into all kinds of trouble. And at the end is death, and they have nothing to look forward to. Proverbs 15:6. In the house of the righteous is much treasure, but in the revenues of the wicked is trouble. So the righteous, their income results in treasure, but the wicked, their income results in trouble. So as a righteous person, when you make money, you do good with it. So it lays up treasure in heaven. And you can also receive blessing here in this life too. But like the wicked, they don't use their money wisely, and so it just causes trouble for them. Proverbs 16:17. The highway of the upright is to depart from evil, but he that keepeth his way preserveth his soul. So in that verse, the righteous, they avoid evil. 17:20. He that hath a froward heart findeth no good, and he that hath a perverse tongue falleth into mischief. So there the wicked, they fall into constant trouble. Proverbs 28:1. The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. So the wicked, they're constantly fearful. They're fleeing even when nothing's chasing them. But the righteous, they're bold as lions. They don't have to fear because they have love. And perfect love casts out fear. So in Proverbs 28:18, whoso walketh uprightly shall be saved, but he that is perverse in his ways shall fall at once. The righteous will be safe, but the wicked, they're gonna suddenly fall. All right, now I want to look at a few verses that contrast short-term results. The first verse there is Proverbs 10:9. He that walketh uprightly walketh surely, but he that perverteth his ways shall be known. So the righteous, they walk securely, but the wicked, they're going to be found out. That's kind of how it is. If sometimes if we do something wrong, we like to hide it, but sometime it's going to be found out. It'll come to light someday. Another verse under short-term results would be Proverbs 13:21. Evil pursueth sinners, but to the righteous good shall be repaid. So there, the righteous are chased by blessings, and the wicked, they're chased by trouble. So, as a righteous person, you have blessing, but the wicked, they have trouble. And then long-term results. Proverbs 10:29. The way of the Lord is strength to the upright, but destruction shall be to the workers of iniquity. God protects the righteous, and the wicked, God destroys them. Proverbs 14:19. The evil bow before the good, and the wicked at the gates of the righteous. And the wicked at the gates of the righteous. So there, the evil people are going to bow to the righteous someday. Proverbs 17:11. An evil man seeketh only rebellion, therefore a cruel messenger shall be sent against him. So the wicked will be punished for their rebellion. Proverbs 10:30. The righteous shall never be removed, but the wicked shall not inhabit the earth. So there we have. Okay, I'm jumping to eternal expectations now. In that verse, it talks about the righteous not being uprooted, and the wicked, they're not going to remain. So the righteous will be steadfast, they're going to remain forever, but the wicked will not remain. They don't have an eternal reward that's good. They receive a reward, but it's not a good reward. Okay, Proverbs 11:18. The wicked worketh a deceitful work, but to him that soweth righteousness shall be a sure reward. Just talking about reward again. It's as a righteous person, your reward is sure. But the wicked, they're going to earn deceptive wages. In Romans, it talks about the wages of sin being death. Proverbs 11:19, as righteousness tendeth to life, so he that pursueth evil pursueth it to his own death. It's talking about how that the wicked they end up in death, but the righteous, they attain life. And in Proverbs 11:23, the desire of the righteous is only good, but the expectation of the wicked is wrath. So there, it's the righteous ends in good, but the wicked, it's going to be wrath. They're going to receive God's wrath. Proverbs 12:7, the wicked are overthrown and are not, but the house of the righteous shall stand. So the righteous will stand firm, but the wicked's going to perish. 14:32, the wicked is driven away in his wickedness, but the righteous hath hope in his death. The righteous, they have a refuge when they die. They have hope. But the wicked are going to be crushed by their sins. And then God's opinion of them. What does God think about the righteous and the wicked? Proverbs 11:20. They that are of a froward heart are abomination to the Lord, but such as are upright in their way are his delight. So there it tells us what God thinks of them. God delights in the righteous, but he detests the perverse. So is it worth living righteously? Have we ever been envious of the wicked? Maybe sometimes it looks like they have it pretty good. In Psalms, it talks about, Psalm 73:3 says, for I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. But then if you go down further in that psalm, in verse 17, it says, until I went into the sanctuary of God, then understood I their end. It doesn't end well for the wicked. So even though they may be prosperous for a time, it don't last. The wicked store up treasure on earth, so it's temporary. In Matthew, it talks about where moth and rust does corrupt. And the righteous, they store up treasure in heaven, so it's eternal. It'll last forever. Does anybody have any thoughts or comments so far?
Wisdom itself is an incalculable treasure. And so that, no matter whether we have any material things at all or any money at all, if we have wisdom, we are richer than anyone else. So in that
Right.
sense, those proverbs always hold true. Not just general rules, they always hold true as far as the righteous being prosperous.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that the wicked don't experience that only a Christian or a righteous person can experience. There's a verse in Psalms 106:3. It says, "Blessed are they that keep judgment, and he that doeth righteousness at all times." In another translation, it had the word joy in that verse. Yeah, do wicked people have joy? And it was mentioned earlier about peace. It's those things, as a wicked person, you don't really experience that. Not to the level that Christ can give. So I have a few quotes here I'll read. He who provides for this life but does not take care for eternity is wise for a moment but a fool forever. A righteous person is preparing for eternity, and so that makes him wise forever. A wicked person, they might appear wise for a moment, but then forever they're a fool unless they change their ways. Another quote, "Always do right. This will gratify some people and astonish the rest." Doing right isn't always popular, but it definitely has a reward. If it's not in this life, it'll be in the one to come. If we don't have time to do it right, when will we have time to do it over? All right, I think that's pretty much all I have.